maybe don't pick these up for your kids? Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 most disturbing Disney bootleg games. Before we begin, we publish new videos every day, so be sure to subscribe for more great content. For this list, we're looking at the most unsettling and bizarre unlicensed Disney games out there. While there's a ton of weird Flash games floating around out there, for this list we're focusing on titles that appeared on physical media. Number 10, The Adventures of the Gummi Bears. No one would accuse the Gummi Bears of being anything other than happy. The cartoon was bright, cheery, and the lovable bears lived together in Gummi Glen, not really disturbing anyone. Still, there's a bunch of content in this Mega Drive hack of Frog Dude that leaves us just a little bit uneasy. The bears walk around the levels with vacant, dead eyes, the portrait above the life counter is surprisingly depressing amongst the colorful, vibrant visuals, and alongside forest creatures like cats and bees are some bizarre enemy choices that are pretty hard to justify in this setting. Even the game over screen tries to be cute, but there's just something kind of off about it. Number 9, Chip 'n Dale Rescue Rangers 2. Ported pretty faithfully from the Famicom to Mega Drive, this Russian bootleg still manages to have a few unsettling elements. While the gameplay is an exact carbon copy of its source material, the creator decided to throw in some new music, new intros, and new game over screens, covering the emotional spectrum from cheerful optimism of a new adventure to acceptance of death each time you fail. Why? We feel bad enough when we die without driving Chip 'n Dale to depression, thank you very much. Number 8, Finding Nemo. Throwing a Nemo-colored skin on the niche James Pond game and calling it a day, this hack follows in a long line of Russian ports that make very little sense. While you'd be forgiven to assume that the game is at least minimally related to the events of the movie, obstacles on your quest include fishermen looking for their next meal and seemingly innocent sea creatures that are promptly murdered. We don't remember that happening in the movie. Weirder still, based on the in-game text, we're actually playing as Nemo, so I guess we found him? Number 7, A Bug's Life. A fairly straight-up Mega Drive port of the Game Boy Color game of the same name. There's still a few additions to the experience that are just a little bit odd. The actual gameplay isn't too bad, but every time you kill anything on your adventure, Flick chimes in to either congratulate you or grunt in appreciation, constantly reminding you of just how much he's enjoying his rampage.
Oh yeah!
Not only is this kind of annoying, but hearing Flick's enthusiasm over every fallen foe quickly has players seeking out ways to avoid the enemy insects. We could probably do without enabling those urges.
Bye-bye, Bucky.
Number 6, The Lion King 2. Disney's Immortal franchise has seen tons of fair use over the years and has been tackled from almost every conceivable angle, which is probably why the creators of this infamous hack decided to send Simba off to China of all places. Traveling through the Orient for inexplicable reasons, Simba spends the majority of the game slaughtering local wildlife, fighting for survival while headless men watch the struggle, and riding Nazi technology through the air on his path to his destination, wherever that is. No, we're never told why any of this is there, and we can't imagine why anyone thought this was a good idea, but whatever. Number 5, Toy Story. One of the most inexplicable titles on this list, Toy Story is a confused mess of strange decisions that just get deeper the more you play. Yeah, the music's annoying, the graphics aren't great, and the spelling is abysmal, but what really makes this game stand out is its plot. Adventuring through Andy's house on the search for new toys, on a quest to eliminate the competition, gamers are responsible for guiding Woody through the platforming hell of his owner's home, savagely beating his friends as he progresses. Your ultimate mission? Killing Buzz Lightyear. Seriously, that's the end of the game. No wonder Andy wants new toys to play with. Number 4, Cars 2. Hey, you remember Cars? That memorable modern classic about racing and friendship? Do you remember when Matter, Do you remember the part where one of the cars decided to enter a race against his clones, battling them to death for supremacy? Well, evidently that happened in the Russian version, which is where this hack of Championship Pro-Am hails from. The changes are actually minimal, consisting of a new splash screen and throwing creepy, soulless eyes on basically everything, but it stirs up some really dark questions. Where is literally any other character, and why are these trucks battling to the point of being killed in fiery explosions? We're not sure, but I don't think Pixar would approve. Number 3, Aladdin II. By far the worst of the many bootleg ports of the official game, this entry takes all of the charm, fantasy, and innocence of the franchise and runs it right through the ground. Sure, Aladdin's a desperate character, but at least the original game sought creative ways around enemies through clever platforming and apple throwing. Here, avoidance is not an option, and the only way through Jafar is to cut down and stab every guard on your way. We're not sure, but something tells us that murdering hundreds of Jasmine's employees won't exactly win her heart over. Number 2, The Lion King 5, Timon and Pumbaa. Another take on the classic African adventure, this entry seemingly keeps the subject matter a little more grounded, at least at first. It gets weird pretty quickly with disembodied hands trying to stomp you on your journey. And if you're unlucky enough to die on your quest through the jungle to avenge Mufasa, you're greeted with the pleasant sight of your chosen character packing it up and killing themselves right there in front of you. It's probably a pretty cruel joke to scar kids unfortunate enough to have played this, because there's something about cute little Simba squeezing himself into a noose that's kinda hard to forget. Number 1, Snow White and the 7 Clever Boys.
Near the seventh town across the seventh river, there was a beautiful forest, where high above the baby birds chirped happily, safe in their nests.
One of the more high-profile Disney knockoffs, there's nothing redeeming about the package that's on offer here. The low-budget animation instantly crosses the line from charming to creepy, the gameplay is a selection of lazy minigames strung together by an incoherent story, and worst of all, when you boot up the game, you're greeted to one of the most racist, archaic depictions of black people that you've ever seen in modern media, somehow making it past European censors. This title is undoubtedly the most disturbing Disney bootleg, and probably the most blatantly problematic too.
So jealous of me, so very jealous of me.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from WatchMojo and subscribe for new videos every day.